Good evening, everyone. It's Shobi Leong. I'm actually recording this tonight on Halloween. However, I don't think I'm going to post it tonight as I know you guys are going to be super busy having a lot of fun with your family, your friends, and your kids, trying to scare the daylights out of most people, or just playing, having good old fun. Anyway, the title of my video this week, like I said, I bring one every week, is how to keep your mind young, or how I've been trying to keep my mind young. The answer to that is to read, to feed your mind. Feed your mind with books, feed your mind with audios, podcasts, you name it. Reading to your mind is like exercise to your body. So do this every day as part of your morning routine. Start with reading 30 minutes a day and for 30 days, and you'll find that you've created a habit for yourself. Then you can follow on with either 30 minutes of exercise or yoga and also 30 minutes of meditation. I highly recommend meditation because if you haven't tried it before, do try. There's so many different types of meditation available that you can find online or on different, like iTunes or Spotify, that you can use for yourself. Find one that sort of like resonates with you and you can find it working for you, because I highly recommend it because it really sets you up right for the day. Now, I know when I say, do 30 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of exercise, 30 minutes of meditation, which means then you're going to have to wake up earlier. Reason for that is just that, it's a special time in that morning when you wake up at 5:30, depending on how the rest of your household operates and what time they wake up. Obviously adjust the time you want to wake up in the morning. I used to wake up at 5:30, but these days I'm probably slightly later at 6 because I home educate my kids, so they start a bit later. This is the beauty of having time freedom. So I wake up earlier so that I have that distraction free time, and also when it's quiet outside. I live in London, so there are police sirens and you name it, and people going to school, going to work. So wake up earlier to give yourself that peaceful time to do these things for yourself. Now, the other thing I would also do is the night before, like 10 minutes before your bedtime routine, get down to doing your journaling and setting your action plan for the next day. So then the next day, you're not sort of like rushing and thinking, oh, what do I need to do next? Because you've already done it the night before. So treat your time as the most important thing that you have each day, because, you know, time is something that we cannot buy back. So treat it as one of your most important things that you have each day, so that you don't waste your time. I'm sure, like, a lot of you out there, and myself including, we wasted a lot of our time and procrastinated on a lot of things. But these are the things and little tips and that you can apply in your life to basically bring your life back on track. So research shows that 40% of what we do is habitual. So we need to look at our habits and analyze and on what we can improve on. So because the your life and your habits, I mean, your the life and your habits lay in your daily routine. So your habits create you, ultimately. So if you're always feeling tired, exhausted, or lethargic all the time, it's because you are not doing enough things to nourish you and to make you feel alive. So you got to put first things first, and you come first. So your health and your whole mental and health and well-being. So feed your mind by reading, by listening to audios, podcasts, you name it. So there is a saying in the Game of Thrones, I'm sure quite a lot of you might have watched this, is that a reader lives 1,000 lives, and a person that does not read only lives one. When I read that quote, I was like, wow, that it's quite a thing that really hit me as to how I actually personally know some people that just don't like reading because, when they left school and everything was done, they were like, that's it, no more books, Life of Freedom. But, that's like, it's, it's a myth, and it's quite crazy to think that a lot of people sort of felt that way in the past, including myself when we first left our education, higher education, you name it. So, as far as books are concerned and listening to and authors, there are so many great authors out there. There's Simon Sinek on Why, Napoleon Hill on Think and Grow Rich, George Clason on The Richest Man in Babylon, Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey, Hal Elrod on The Miracle Morning, Joseph Murphy on The Power of Subconscious Mind. These are just some of the great authors that I have read and have applied quite a lot of what I've learned from there into my life, and which has obviously, given me amazing results, in the last couple of years of my journey online here, and also my journey offline. So if knowledge is power, then reading is definitely a superpower. So, because there's decades and decades of experience all put into a book to give you that advantage and, to avoid costly mistakes. So, but make sure before you go out, before you rush out and buy all these books and audios, ask yourself these 3 questions. How can I use this? So, get a pen, get a piece of paper, a pad, and put a little put a column in between, divide it, and ask yourself, how can I use this? And write, on the other side of the question, how you can use this. A second question is, why must I use this? So it's things like, who's going to be, counting on you to win today, to see you success, to see you progress. Self-awareness is a superpower. So, these are things that I'm sorry, we were just not taught this in school, but it is so simple to apply, but I guess it's a case of, like you said, being self-aware and, having this knowledge and this brought, to the forefront for you. And the third question is, when will I use this? By you answering this question, it's going to help you prioritize your day. So like you say, when you're journaling, when you're planning your action plan and everything else, it helps you prioritize your day, your calendar. So, you're not sort of like left with wasting time or diddling about and not knowing what to do. Because, I remember, definitely, I remember I used to do that in the past. So, despite whatever I've just said to you about learning and reading and feeding your mind, let me tell you one of the biggest lies in the personal development industry. I mean, this is an industry I actually love because, I take it seriously. That one of the biggest lies in the personal development industry is that knowledge is power. It fools a lot of people into thinking that if they spend thousands and thousands of dollars and, throw all this money at attending seminars, webinars and lots of books and, tools and materials, is going to make you into a better person. Don't turn yourself into one of those people where all the books that you have on your all the books on self-help doesn't turn into shelf help. So the truth is that none of this is going to work unless you work. So I guess it sort of like brings about this whole thing about implementation of the things that you've learned. So you've got the 3 I's, which is information, obviously, so it's from what you feed your mind. Then you've got inspiration, which is what's going to make you or propel you to take certain actions from what you've learned. And then there is implementation. Once you've sort of like achieved these 3 I's, it then eventually turns into integration, which is what's where it integrates into your habits, into your daily life. So guys, I hope what I've shared with you today about how to keep your mind young and how to feed your mind and how to nourish yourself is going to help you on your journey, on whatever it is you're embarking to sort of like basically keep your life on track and and keeping you happy to achieve your goals. One of the things about this journey is that, you know, it's not always about just getting results. It's about how you can handle your journey whilst you're on this track to success. So these are some of the you know, the tips that I'm sharing with you today that I have used for myself in my life, and, you know, thoroughly highly recommended that, you know, some of you definitely do try this. So if any of you wants to know, you know, what's working for me right now, then please do reach out to me and personal message me. And I'd love to have a chat with you and share with you what it is I'm doing right now. And, you know, ask me any questions you want on this video. So I hope you guys have had a great Halloween. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care, and it's good night from me.